Yes, people, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel, people. Make sure that you lot are smashing up the likes. Make sure that you're subscribing to the channel. Roll to 10K, like I keep saying, people. Yeah. And shout out Potts. We've got a good stream lined up today. You know, as the title says, how far are Arsenal away from Chelsea? You know, this is something that me and Potts were going back and forth about the other day. And listen, a lot of Arsenal fans think that there's a massive gap between us. And for me, there really isn't. You know, I keep going on about the defense that you lot have in comparison to us. You know, so we'll talk about that in a little bit more detail, bro. But what you saying, though, Potts, first of all, man? You good?
Come on, man. Yeah, I'm good. International breaks here, which means we can unwind a little bit, mate. It's always good to get good debates in this time. Looking forward to this one. You and I go back and forth for a while. And if I'm honest, I think we're on the same wavelength most of the time. But, you know, when it comes to Chelsea and Arsenal, sometimes it can be different, bro. But first of all, man, let's get Don to 10K, man. Come on. He should be there already. Hit the like and subscribe, people. Make sure that you do the thing. And, yeah, let's get down to it, bro.
Yeah, let's get down to it, man. But first of all, let's talk about the England game yesterday. Listen, that game was putting me to sleep most of the time. I can't lie, bruv. You know, Albania, they sat back in a low block, 11 players behind the ball. Obviously, Tuchel, a lot of people were excited to see what he was going to cook up. For me, during his time at Chelsea, bro, I was happy when he first came. But I can't lie to you, Potts, towards the end of his time, bro, he was fucking up a lot tactically, bro. Some of the players I've seen him playing in certain positions, bro. The likes of Loftus-Cheek, wing back. There was even a game he played Sterling at wing back. You know what I mean? Like, I just didn't like this formation, playing two in the middle. People can argue that he didn't really have the personnel to play a 4-2-3-1. But there were so many things where, you know, even going into the season, you know what I'm saying? He signed his own players and we got worse. If you remember, bro, when you battered us in pre-season, that was with Tuchel.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, that was the season we finished 12th. So there's a lot of Chelsea fans that still have this, you know, this thing where they're still obsessed with him. Like, oh, you know, Tuchel's the best, Tuchel's the man and that. I respect him for winning us the Champions League. But for me at that time, it was the right time to sack him. But we replaced him with the wrong person. That's what the issue was with me, right? Tuchel had to go at that time, but Potter was the wrong person to bring in. You know what I mean? But first of all, bro, how did you think of the game yesterday? What did you think of the game yesterday, man?
Not much has changed in one game with England. I didn't expect it to, if I'm honest. But what I will say is at least it was a little bit more positive than it was with Southgate. Look, I'm a fan of Tuchel. I mean, he's won about 13 or 14 trophies in the 3 clubs he's been at. If you look at what he's won at Dortmund, Chelsea and PSG, which is why I always look at Bayern. I always look at him being a little bit underappreciated and underrated, to be fair. There's a lot of Man United fans saying they didn't want him and a lot of other clubs in Premier League saying they didn't want him. And if I'm honest with you, I would have taken him when you signed him at Chelsea because we had Arteta. We were rolling in 15th at the time. He was sunning it up, chilling out. And I was like, rah, go get him. But I wish we would have, because look at what happened with Chelsea. Got the Champions League over the line. I thought he played pretty well with you. I didn't rate the squad at the time. And I think what he did in the Champions League final to get you across the line with Havertz, Werner and Mount as a front three needs to be appreciated, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm a fan of him. However, when the England squad come out and it was announced, I was a little bit disappointed, bruv. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought there was a lot of players that could have actually got a nod and didn't. When I see Jordan Henderson and Kyle Walker still there, they're going to both be, 35, 36 when the tournament comes? They ain't going to be in there, bruv. So why are we playing them now? Stupid. I'm all for, like, get us there. But let's be real. I want to look at the future. There's players. If we had nobody, yeah, I'd understand it. And then I looked at the 11 and I thought, like, you know, where are the likes of Adam Wharton, who's been brilliant for Palace? Where are the likes of Livramento, who's been phenomenal at fullback? Why are we playing Walker there instead of him? Do you know what I mean? But obviously, I was a big fan of Miles getting a call up, getting a start, and getting a goal in his debut. There's only Rooney and Owen, you know, that I've scored at that age. So he's sitting with decent company there, and they're strikers. He's a left back. So for me, he deserves a hell of a lot of mention. That ball from Jude was unbelievable, by the way. That was a great ball. And a great first-time finish from him. Great seeing him at the end with Rice, like both of them having a chat and saying, you know, he looked like a proud big brother. I'm a fan of this kid, Don. I have been for a while, to be fair, Lewis Skelly. He is actually a kind of left 8, but he's been playing at left back and he's played fantastically there for club and country now. But other than that, there were an amazing amount of positives. I look at England, one thing I do worry about, bruv, moving forward, I don't know about you, is we've literally got Kane and that's it. Like, I know Delap's coming through and he looks all right. I'm not really a Solanke lover. I'm not because he's at Tottenham, but
we have Watkins. We've got Watkins as well.
Yeah, I like Watkins. I do actually. I do
Mm,
like Watkins. I don't know if he's like an Owen or a Rooney to lead the line or a Kane, but I
mm.
do like him. But that's my only worry, really. Whether Delap
Yeah,
can come to that next level, because I think you're linked with Delap. I don't know what you think about him, but I like
yeah.
him. I think he's a good player, but I don't know if he could get 20 goals a season. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, Delap. Listen, I like Delap. But for me, he's not my first choice or even
Nah.
second choice. You know what I'm saying? It's them ones there where like Chelsea have taken a lot of risks recently, and I think that Delap would do better than Jackson up top. In all honesty, I think he'll give us a little bit more of a different profile, more of a box presence, someone that presses a lot from the front, bro. On the ball is quite good as well, right? But he knows that position. He knows how to work the box. But it's still him moving from Ipswich to Chelsea, bro. You know what I mean? He's still young, right? There's all these intangibles in the game that you can't. You got to learn them as you get older, bro, with more experience. So for me, ideally, I want someone that's been in the Champions League already. I want someone that's played at the highest level, bro. Maybe even won trophies already, like Gokeres, Osimhen, these sort of guys, right? And if you bring a Delap, I want him to be like part of the team, but second choice maybe, or third choice maybe, part of the three strikers that you've got. But Delap ain't gonna do that. Delap ain't gonna come Chelsea to sit on the bench when he's gonna have a lot of other clubs that will want to sign him and start him every week. You know what I mean? But for me, this summer, bro, I don't want us to be taking too many risks. I feel like Delap is a bit of a risk when there's other players that we can get that are going to be available as well, bro. You know what I mean?
If you take him alongside an Osimhen, that's great. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
that's
like, if
brilliant.
you take him instead of one, then I don't know. There's a lot of pressure on him, man. But yeah, I wanted to talk about this Skelly thing quickly with the media. What do you make of this bullshit, man? Like, he's getting a lot of stick. I don't get it, fam. Is it racism? Is it because he's like being cocky with Arsenal? Like, what is it, man? I don't get it.
Bro, it's a bit of both, isn't it? Personally, for me, I think it all stems from the thing that he did to Haaland, right? Because
Yeah,
for me, personally,
so what?
I agree with you, bro. Me, I don't care. I found it funny. I thought it was sick.
course
I
it
love
was.
that in football. I love it when, like, remember when you lot played Spurs and Saka did the darts?
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
He did the Rashford as well against United. Bro, I love that. Like, football's entertainment end of the day, right? But the issue that you've got with Skelly is Haaland's been there, done it. He's a world-class player. He's done everything. And Skelly's only been around for 2 seconds. That's the difference here. Do you get it? So a lot of people are looking at it and thinking, yo, this guy's been here for 2 seconds and he's doing this. Now we're going to have a target on his back. Do you get it? Yeah, it's jealousy, bro. You're right, Cams. It is jealousy. Yeah?
Yeah, it's weird.
People are now going to have he's now going to have a target on his back. As soon as he did it, bro, I said, yeah, Skelly has now got a target on his back. After that game, you even heard, like, when you lot were playing, when he's getting on the ball, you're hearing some fans, like rival fans, booing him, after that game, right? And then now he's gone to England and people are getting angry because of a picture. Bro, it's racism as well, bro. They don't want to see a black guy shining, bro. They don't want to see a black guy with confidence, arrogance, knowing how good he is, bro. Right? They want to silence us. As a black man, I know how it feels, bro. You know what I mean?
Listen, I'm with you there. Listen, I don't know what it's like. People say to me, "What do you make it?" I've never had it, so I wouldn't know what it feels like, right? But what I will say is, whenever England have a bad result, who's on the back pages? It's never Kane. It's always Saka, Rashford, Bellingham, and now you're going to see this with Lewis Skelly. It's always the black players, man.
Of course,
all the time.
bro.
England disgrace, black players everywhere. I can't stand the media for that, man. They always have done it, and they deny it and say, "Oh, we've just selected the players." Wow, funny that it's never ever like a Harry Kane or a Jordan Henderson or a Phil Foden, or do you know what I'm saying? I hate it, man. Honestly, I'm sick of it. But and I think it is some of that is racially motivated with Lewis Skelly as well. They're like, how dare a young black kid come through and make it, and a cocky, arrogant one at that. Like, yeah, he's got a little bit of cockiness, but haven't we all, like, when we're that good? Like, this kid's sick, bro. Like, he's so good.
You see what I'm saying? You see how they love Kante? Kante's black, but they love him in the media because he's shy. He's
humble.
Quiet. He doesn't really do anything. Like, even when he scores a goal, you just see him shy away, like he doesn't want to celebrate, bro.
Sadio Mane as well. Mane was like that. Do you remember Mane was like that? With like, he had like his phone and it was all like chipped up and stuff. And they were like, this guy's so humble, he don't care. Like, he's just a normal person. Like,
exactly.
They're the only two really that I can think of, bro. So I don't know. I just find it mad. Lewis Skelly's going to be a great player, whether he continues to play at left back or what, whether he makes it to a good level or an Ashley Cole level. I have no idea yet. He's 18. So let's just keep it. He looks humble, looks like grounded. I thought his interview was really good. He was like genuinely happy, couldn't believe it, and So it's, long may it continue, man. I love the kid. I think he's going to be quality.
100%. What did you think of how he set up the team though, in terms of like, obviously, creating chances, because that's something that we struggled with Southgate, to create chances consistently. If you remember, even last tournament, bro, we had to keep winning because of moments of brilliance, right? You can think of Watkins in the semi-final. Obviously, Palmer came on. Before he came on, we were dross. He scores out of nothing. Jude scoring in the last minute against Slovakia. I think it was.
Saka against Switzerland.
Saka against Switzerland. So like we've had a chance. We've had a creativity issue in this team. What did you think of how he set up? Like, do you think it allowed us to create more chances? Because we did create more chances, to be fair. Like,
yeah, I think it did, but I don't think it was hard. I don't think it was hard for two reasons. Southgate, you've got to try and be a bit more creative than him. They ain't hard, yeah. And the other thing is the players, bruv. Like, these players are talented boys, yeah. You look at the attack-minded players that we've got. Like, I was talking to Errol about this last night. We were like, yeah, with Harry Kane after that, we're a bit screwed. But getting the ball to Harry Kane shouldn't be an issue with Foden, with Saka, with Palmer, with Jude. Yeah. Declan Rice, I know that you don't like him in certain positions, but for England, I think he's always been good in that kind of six because he's playing in the right position. So I don't really think we've got any excuses, bruv. And we are going to create more under Tuchel. There's going to be no doubt. I need to talk on Foden though, man, because, bruv, I don't know how he gets away with this less amount of still. And I'm a Foden fan, by the way. But I look at him and I think if this was Palmer or Saka right now, they would be going absolutely mad. And I think this is where Chelsea and Arsenal sometimes butt heads, but should look to get together on this, because Foden seems to get away with a lot. Like this season, he's stunk for Man City. Man City flow, oh my God, he hasn't done that bad. Yes, he has, man. He's been terrible. He was player of the year last year. Yeah. And then you look at what he's done this year.
It's the worst comeback after winning that, isn't it? This is the worst comeback after winning that, bro.
Not even close. He's not even close to being one of Man City's best players. He's terrible. And then you look at what Palmer and Saka have had to do in comparison. I know Saka's been injured and Palmer's dropped off, but you look at them individually, how they've had to get a worse Chelsea and a worse Arsenal across the line at games in moments than Foden's had to do with Man City. Foden has the kind of advantage of hiding behind some of the players if he has a bad game. So it's like, oh, Haaland ain't been good. Oh, Foden weren't really, but neither was Haaland or Grealish, and you can reel them off. When it's Arsenal and when it's Chelsea, everybody says it. Rival fans, where was Saka? Where was Palmer? Like they don't seem to say where was Foden. Is that because he's won everything and he's like player of the year? Or if you put Palmer and Saka in those treble winning sides, they would have won everything as well. So I don't know, man.
Palmer was there, bro, but he wasn't playing.
And bro, like for England, man, I'm not just talking about for City. For England, Foden has stunk, bro. He's been terrible. Like we're playing him on the right now. Like, what's going on in this, man? I don't know.
I'm glad that you've said that, right? Because TTM says Southgate's problems with chance creation was the players he would always pick in attacking areas. Playing Jude in the 10 was, how do you pronounce that word, bruv? Yeah, with all the options we had in that position, right? And yeah, for me, a big reason why we struggled, bro. You're playing Foden on the right. Every time he's getting on the ball, he's just going backwards. Like, I'm honestly sick and tired of this Foden right wing experiment. He should be nowhere near the 11. That's a start, right? Nowhere near this 11 for England, bro. Because in the 10, you got opportunity there in the last tournament. He done all right for like half an hour. Can't remember what team we played, but remember him and Mainoo were popping. Then he just falls off. Other than that, he was shit the rest of the time, being played out of position, right? And then Rashford, for me, I'm starting Gordon ahead of him, bro. Right? I'm starting Gordon ahead of Rashford. Like Rashford, cool, he's gone to Villa, he's done a little bit of something, but I'm starting Gordon ahead of that guy because he done nothing as well. You know what I mean? And then for me in the 10, I'm actually playing Palmer, bro, when Palmer comes back. You know what I mean? So I don't know what that means for Jude, because I was speaking to people in the chat about
I played Jude, the Rice and Jude, and then you put Palmer and then Saka, Gordon, Kane. That's what I would do.
Play Jude.
Foden don't start.
So you play Jude.
So he plays the attack. Like, go more box to box with Jude. Let him do his thing. With bloody what do you call it? With Foden, he don't start for me for England.
No, he doesn't. The thing is though, if we play Jude and Palmer together, right? Because most of the time, I was telling people in the chat yesterday, in the group chat. Yeah, in the group chat. Most of the time, we're going to face low blocks, right? Therefore, you need to have two players in that advanced position, basically. So Palmer and the Jude, and you can get away with playing Rice as a lone six. The thing that you need to do, bro, is you're going to have to start Cole, bro. Because Rice, I'm sorry, bro. Rice gets on the ball, and he doesn't progress it well, right? We're going to need someone that's going to be able to find Jude and Palmer consistently. Cole does that, bro, right? Defensively, he might not be the greatest, I can't lie. But when he gets on that ball, Potts, you're going to see him starting a lot of attacks. That's what he does for Chelsea. Do you get it? Like he could definitely improve
Is he
defensively.
good enough though? I'm not a fan, bro.
Bro, he started the season off well and he can improve. He's only 21. Like, bro, for most centre backs, they become, class at like 25, 26. You rarely ever get many Salibas, bro. Like Salibas, that's why Saliba's generational, because
He is generational.
You know
I
what I
think
mean?
Mark Gahey will be the one that does that. I think
Maybe
Mark
Gay,
Gahey.
maybe Gay,
Yeah,
true.
I
That's
think
Gay.
you should get it. I think Chelsea should sign him as well.
Yep, He's another one that we could think about as well. But I'm just
He
thinking
was
of
at Chelsea,
what
right?
we could do. He was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to play for Chelsea, bro. So for me, that's how I would kind of set things up in it. If we're gonna start those guys, like I said, Cole was not really gonna have much to do against a low block, bro. Let him just ping those passes in, bro. You know what I mean? Let him ping those passes in. But yeah, overall, I need to see an improvement on Monday, man. I don't want to see Foden right wing again. You know what I mean? I don't want to see him again, bro. Right? I don't want to see Rashford starting right now. I want to see Gordon starting, right? And then we move, bro. You know what I mean? But listen, people, got 58 people in the house. Make sure that you lot are keep smashing up the likes as always, people. But let's get into it, man, because obviously right now, like I said to you, for me personally, I don't think there's much of a gap in it between Arsenal and Chelsea. We've scored the same amount of goals at this moment in time. For me, our midfield, bro, Palmer, Enzo, Caicedo have outperformed what you've been putting out in terms of performances, as well as the GA, bro, right? It's just the defense for me, Potts, where the big difference is. Because like I told you before, you've conceded 30. We've conceded 30 more goals to you. And obviously you've got Gabriel and Saliba, bro. Right? We're constantly chopping and changing. We're still yet to have a top pairing at the back. You know what I mean? We chop one week is Chalobah and Tosin. Another week is Tosin and Colwell, right? 1 week is Fofana playing right back and all of these things. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, like, I don't think we're that far off, because I feel like if we actually sort out our defense, right, and obviously we both need a striker as well. We'll talk about the gaps in our team. I think the gap will be a lot closer, bro. You know what I mean? This season, you've drawn 10 games, Potts, and you're 9 points ahead of us, right? There's your 10 points that you've got ahead of us, bro. Yeah? Because the thing about Arsenal, at least even if your attack's not firing and you're shit up top, because your attack has been meaty this season. Let's be real, bro, yeah? It's been meaty most games, right? At least you've got a good defense to fall back on. Whereas with Chelsea, if we go up first, we don't have a good defense to fall back on like that, bro, right? We haven't got Lavia that's been fit that can help Caicedo, yeah? Caicedo's our only physical profile we've had fit, right? And again, the likes of Chalobah, the likes of Tosin, they're just not that good to be playing every single game, bro. You know what I mean? So that's the biggest issue for me. I think we need to sort out our defense, get a striker, and we'll close that gap, bro. What's your take on my take, bro?
So look, man, let me say where I agree with you on. I don't think it's just Chelsea here. I'll put Villa, I'll put Newcastle. Maybe I could put a couple others in, but maybe that's stretching it too much. But let's just concentrate on the Chelsea thing right now. I don't think you'll get anything. I don't think people that listen to me will expect me to come on here and start boasting about how great Arsenal are, right? I'm not deluded. I know where our problems are. I don't think Chelsea are a million miles away from Arsenal, if I'm honest. And I've said that to you. Where I will say is I think that right now Arsenal look closer to a Premier League title than Chelsea.
Facts.
Yeah. But you're right. We all know why. Because we're stacked at the back. Now, I don't really rate what Chelsea have got in goal or in their defence. Where I do think you're strong is in midfield. And I actually think your best midfield trio is Lavia, Palmer, and Caicedo. Right? Now, I know you're a fan of Enzo, and I don't hate on Enzo like you think. I just don't think he's a £115 million player that's like, wow, rah, this guy is pivotal to everything that Chelsea are doing. He's been better this season, no doubt. And I actually didn't think he was bad when Potter was there. Was it Potter? Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't think he was too bad then, right? So I don't mind Enzo. I don't hate on him like you think. I do wind you up a bit about it, but for me, I think he's all right. Yeah. But for me, I don't look at Chelsea and think, wow, they're million miles off. You're a goalkeeper, you're a centre half, you're a striker, definitely. And I do think you're a winger away from having an 11 or maybe 13, 14 players that can really go for a title. So I don't think you and I are far away from that there. Where I think we're similar is the gaps in our team. We both clearly need a centre forward.
Yeah.
Now, I think I know who the centre forward you're going to go for, and I think I know the centre forward that we're going to go for. And I personally prefer yours, right? Because I think you're going to get Osimhen, and I think we're going to get Sesko. And it's not that I hate on Sesko. All the Arsenal fans start crying when I say this. I just think we can do better than Sesko. I think Sesko at 21 looks pretty good and promising, but I don't think he's ready now. I don't think he's one that's going to waltz into us and get 25 goals. I think what Osimhen will do is I think he'll actually be there, right? So I think when you look at it, Chelsea fans keep screaming, we need to spend more money. We need to spend more money. Bruv, you spent $1 billion already. That is 100 million per position. And you look at the state of it. You've got no goalkeeper still that I rate. I don't rate Sanchez or Jorgensen. One of them is good enough for backup, but not going to be like a Petr Cech or Alisson or a Schmeichel. And this is the difference with me. I get a lot of stick on Terry's channel, right, with Chelsea fans. Oh my God, he's trying to compare him to Cech. Yes, that was what I grew up on, bro. That's where I rate Chelsea. I rate Chelsea highly. People think I'm going to come on here and disrespect Chelsea. In the last 2 decades, you've won more trophies than us, right? So I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, yeah, for now, we'll put this guy in goal because in 5 years, he might be all right. No, man, I'm looking at Chelsea to win now. Unless you want to go over a project and say, give us 10 years, Potts, ain't going to win nothing. We want a process, please, and turn into Arsenal, then don't moan when I'm saying to you, he ain't Petr Cech. He ain't Didier Drogba. He ain't Lampard. He ain't Kante. He ain't Arjen Robben. He ain't Hazard. Because I don't see any of these players at Chelsea. Now, I was a bit jealous of Pedro Neto, but he's been terrible for you. I don't know why. I don't know what's happening. If it's because you ain't got a striker, if it's because whatever. We can talk about reasons why, Maresca, etc. But I think Pedro Neto is a baller, bruv. I think he's a very good player. Yeah, I was jealous when you got him. I was like, I really want him, man. But some of the other signings you've made, I'm like, other than Caicedo and Palmer, I'm really struggling right now. And you know I like Lavia. Lavia needs to prove his fitness for me. Because he's someone that I'm a big fan of, bruv. But I can't see him fit enough. Likewise for Fofana. Big fan of Fofana and was at Leicester, but he's got to prove his fitness as well. Reece James. So I'm talking about some of your best players there, and most of them are injured. So
exactly,
bro. You know what I'm saying?
That's the point here, and that's where we went wrong in the summer, bro. Right? In the summer, these guys gambled on Lavia staying fit. They gambled on Reece staying fit. They gambled on Fofana staying fit, bro. Because you know that when we've got these guys fit, Potts, even though we haven't got a striker, we're a lot better, right? It's a fact that we concede less goals when these guys are available, bro, right? So when people like Hooks are just deluding themselves into thinking that we're never going to kick on, you know, because Hooks is the biggest Arsenal barrister, bro, right? This guy will just hate everything about this club, about my club, even though what I'm saying is a fact, bro. We played you lot last season at the Bridge. You're lucky to even get a point in that game because once again, our goalkeeper fucked about. If we had Raya in goal that game, that's not happening. Yeah, when we were beating you lot 2-0. You did fuck all for a good 70 minutes in that game. Sanchez says, oh, do you know what? I'm getting bored in here. Let me give it to Rice. You know what I mean? And then last second, you're scoring a goal from Trossard. There was that. When we changed up our team against you, man, at the Emirates, we had no Palmer. We had no Gusto, right? We had Alfie Gilchrist at right back. We had Enzo Fernandez with a hernia injury running about in midfield. Because I was at that game, Potts, yeah? And, bro, I've played football at a good level.
So was I.
And I'm telling you, bro, I know when someone's injured. I was watching Enzo in that game, and I'm telling you now, Potts, he's limping on the pitch. When people are going into duels with him, he's just flying everywhere. Because you know when you're injured, your body's not strong, innit? Like, you're injured, bro. You're not healthy, right? He comes off. I think he came off at half-time. That was his last game of the season. He got the hernia.
Would you not agree, though, Don, that you have had, like, pretty much your best team at Stamford Bridge for 2 years running and still haven't managed to take 3 off of us?
That's my point. The point that I'm saying is when you beat us 5-0, that was when we changed the team, bro. We even changed the defense that game. We started Chalobah we started Disasi and Badia Shil, who were the Cramp twins last season. And then we started Alfie Gilchrist, who battered us 5-0. When we had our strongest 11 when we played you at the Bridge, we drew and we should have won that game. And then this season as well, bro, it was a tight game. You scored first, we equalized, it was a draw. Again, we come to the Emirates, he fucks up the team, the personnel, certain personnel, we lose that game by a point. You know what I mean? So, like, it's not like we come to Arsenal and you guys batter us every single time. It's not that, bro, right? It's just that there's so many little things here that we need to sort out in terms of a goalkeeper, in terms of a striker. You know what I mean? I think our midfield is stacked. We don't need any more midfielders at the minute. Yeah, and then you get this lazy analysis like this, but you didn't win, bro. Regardless of me not winning, we're analyzing the game. We're analyzing what happened in the game. There's context about the game. And you don't want to talk about the context. You're just doing result-based analysis. You know what I'm saying? Yes, that's the issue that you've got there, Hooks. You're not analyzing the game. You know what I mean? So we need to make sure next season, right, that we sort these fucking problems out. Bring me Gokares, bro, right? Make sure that you're in the hat for Isak, yeah? I don't care how much this guy is, bro. Make sure that you're in the hat. If we don't get him, we don't get him. But at least try. You know what I mean? At least try, bro.
How many players do you need, Don?
Bro, we need a striker. we need a left winger to replace Mudryk for me. Obviously, he's cooked right now. Sancho, I don't know what's going to happen there if we're going to sign him. But even if we do sign him, he's a squad player, bro. I don't trust this guy to start every single game. I think he can be useful in the squad, but every single game, bro, not for me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we need a left winger that's right-footed. We definitely need a centre-back that can start ahead of Fofana. You know what I'm saying? And for me, ideally, bro, sell Sanchez and bring someone in. You know, bring a goalkeeper in that's got a little bit more clout. Yeah, goalkeeper.
I was going to say 4. I think you need, and it needs to be in like the start now, and they're ready. So you need to go by Osimhen or Gyökeres up top. You need to go look at a proper centre half like Mark Guehi that's going to come in and start. Yeah. Left wingers, I don't know who you want. There's a load of options at the moment. People are talking about Lookman being available, Nico Williams being available. We're in the same position. We need those positions as well, by the way. And then a goalkeeper.
Who would you want to bring in on the left, bro? Because I asked this.
Yeah, it's a really good question. You know, I wanted Kvaratskhelia, but he's gone now, and then we missed that opportunity. So I'll probably go with Lookman. You know, I rate him a lot. I like him a lot. I think he's ready now. At 27, he's ready. Nico Williams, I think, could be good. I see him in Spain, and he looks really good. But I see him for club, and he don't do the same. So I think he needs to be surrounded by that quality in Spain, because at Athletic Club he doesn't seem to be able to do it. So I'll probably go Lookman. Obviously in midfield we've got to look at our midfield where you don't. So Zubimendi's being mentioned. I really like Reinders at AC Milan. I'm a big fan of him. Morgan Rogers would be one of my. Yeah, Morgan Rogers is obviously one, but he's going to be a hell of a lot of money. So that's that. But I don't think we need to touch anything really at the back too much unless players leave. But I think that's where Andrea's fine in goal. But that's where I'm at, bro.
Yeah, and just on your midfield as well, bro. Yeah, because for me, like I always hear Arsenal fans blaming Martinelli for not creating and blaming Trossard for not doing much up there, and it's all Saka up there. But for me, bro, I think you've got a problem in your midfield as well. Facts. If you look here. You know, most chances created from open play in the Prem this season. You've got Salah, that's number 1. Kulu, number 2. Cole Palmer, number 3. Right? It will be, funny enough, ironically, number 4. You've got Enzo, number 5. So Chelsea actually have 2 players on this list from their midfield that are creating a lot of chances for us. And if you actually go check the team that have created the most big chances behind Liverpool, it's Chelsea. It's Chelsea, bro. You know what I mean? Arsenal aren't even in the top.
That's why we said you needed a striker. Everyone said it.
Arsenal aren't even in the top 5. So would you want to bring in like an artist in the summer, bro? Like, because I feel like you need someone like a Bruno or like a Kulu or like a Palmer, bro. You need someone in there, bro. Like Odegaard, I don't think he's got the minerals, man. I'll be so real. I don't think he's got the minerals, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk on Odegaard. He's been one of the most disappointing players, I've got to be real, this season for us. One of the most disappointing is Odegaard for me. Look, I think he's an 8. I don't even think he's a 10. I think we need to go and get somebody in the ilk of a Florian Wirtz. Or even if we can't get to that level, go and get a Cunha, because I really like Cunha a lot. I think he's an excellent player for a 10. I think Odegaard needs to drop into that kind of 8 role. That's not going to happen. You know, the stuff I want is not going to happen, Don. We've got Arteta who believes, and he's stubborn enough to believe it. Rice is going to be our 8. I hate that. Odegaard's going to be our 10. I don't like that.
You think Rice could be your 8?
No, I think so, bro, because we're getting Zubimendi, they reckon. He's not going to play in the 8. So it's going to be Zubimendi as the 6, unless we look at a double pivot and go back to a 4-2-3-1 and have Odegaard in the 10, which I'm not sure he is. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like he's got this midfield wrong a lot of the time. And then obviously you've got who I want is completely different to who Arteta wants. So I want Isak. We're probably going to get Sesko. He wants Nico Williams. I probably would prefer Lookman. It looks like we want this young brother, Naipan or whatever from Rosenborg. I want Florian Wirtz or Cunha. Yeah. Obviously in midfield, I want Morgan Rogers or Reinders as the 8 and then Rice as the 6. He seems to want.
You want to try Rogers then, yeah?
I would, but we're not going to get him. He's going to be unbelievable money. Yeah. But that's the sort of players that I want to be bringing into the club. I want Isak. I want Rogers. I want Florian Wirtz. This is where Arsenal should be at, bruv, at the level. We shouldn't be going for players like Sesko now. Oh, he might be good in 5 years. Or we shouldn't be going for this Naipan guy who's 18. We need to get this. We need to get him. Boom, boom, boom. I need that window to shut and go, rah, Arsenal got a Champions League level side there. And Premier League's going to be ours, but I know that we're not, because we never do under the Cronkies and Arteta. The only caveat to that, bruv, is Berta. Now that we're bringing him in, I think he's going to go, no, forget everything you've been talking about. Leave it to me. Yeah, I ain't going for Seskos. I don't want no 18-year-olds. Let me get these in, and he'll bring in 3 gems and 2 proper players. So let's say, for example, I don't know this will happen, but let's say, for example, he goes, "Nah, let's go and get Isak. Let's go and get Zubimendi, and then I'll give you 3 gems on top of that." And then he goes and finds the next Mateus Cunha, like he did at Atletico. The next Diogo Jota, like he did at Atletico. The next Rodri, like he did from when he signed him from Villarreal for 20 million. This is what Berta does. So we got to let Berta do his job, man. So I think they will clash, Arteta and him, but I think it will be a good thing. I think he needs to be the most powerful voice. So this is where you look at the ownership and go, right, these two are clashing. He's the guy who knows what he's doing. Mikel, you need to shut up and let him do his job. That's what needs to happen now for me this summer, man. But you know, Chelsea are in a similar position where you've got I think the gaps are a little bit different. We don't need a goalkeeper and a defender, but other than the goalkeeper and defender, I think we need the same amount of positions, really. I mean, you know, a front three is needed at both clubs, really.
Exactly, and that's why I keep telling people at Hooks, bro. Listen, everyone up there needs a rebuild right now, bro. Whoever wins the league next season is the team that rebuilds the best. I told you this the other day, Potts. You've got Liverpool. We don't know what's happening with their 3 players, right?
Yeah.
If they all leave, that's going to be so peak for them. Because yes, they've got Edwards, but bro, you're losing an all-timer in Van Dijk. You're losing an all-timer in Salah. You're losing an all-timer for Liverpool in Trent, right? They're not going to be easy to replace, yeah? I've struggled as a Chelsea fan to replace the core players that last won me the league. Year on year, I'm seeing guys less and less. One season it's only Azpilicueta there, and I'm like, yo, everyone that won the league's gone. Kante's gone, Hazard's gone, all these men have gone, you know. And that's what's going to happen to Liverpool if that happens. They'll have to rebuild. Man City, bro, they have to revamp that midfield of theirs as well. Even looking at their winger options as well, bro. Doku and Savinho, they need someone that's going to bag goals for them, bro, and get assists as well consistently. Because they used to have that in the Mares. They used to have that in the Sane. They used to have that in the Sterling, right? They've got Haaland, cool, but who the fuck's creating for him consistently, bro? KDB's done. You know what I mean? You've got Arsenal. Like you've said, the holes that you need, bro. You've got Chelsea. We need to rebuild. So people need to realize we're not in the prime of Klopp and Pep, right? Football's moved on. We're in a new era. I'm not looking at a team right now that I'm scared of. You know what I mean? I'm not looking at a team right now that's capable of getting 100 points even, Potts. You know what I'm saying? So for me, looking at it next season as a Chelsea fan, it's a free-for-all. Do I think Chelsea are going to win the league? Maybe not, because we haven't really had
you got to look at your window first.
Yeah, we've got to sort out the window. And on top of that, we've got Maresca, that's still inexperienced. You know, we haven't got players that have been in the title race as of yet, really, in the team. You know, how they're going to deal with the pressure and whatnot. There's all these intangibles. So, you know, that's the thing that I'm kind of looking at. But can we compete? Definitely, bro. We can definitely compete, bro. 110%. There's no way anyone's going to look at me and say Chelsea can't compete next season. I'm looking at the teams around us, and I'm sorry, bro. There's not a standout team. Even Liverpool right now, this team don't come close to the team I saw on the Klopp. This team does not come close, bro. I'm seeing Darwin, what's his name? Diaz and Jota have scored 4 goals in their past 40 games. Marino has scored more goals in his past 7 games, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Bro. That is actually scary, you know. That's unbelievable. But the thing is, I would agree with that, and I feel like you're not the only ones. Like I said this the other day about Newcastle, and you know, I like
that's your love child. That's your love child. That's honestly your love child.
I like Newcastle. They're the only team that I actually respect. But I look at it. I'm not saying they can win a title, but I don't think they're millions and millions of miles away. If they get like 5 top quality players and keep what they've got, I think they've got a good chance of leapfrogging. So I think this is the most competitive it's been in a long time, bro. I really do. I don't know what Man City we're going to get. I expect them to rebuild, and I expect they'll probably go on and do what Pep does. Liverpool, no idea without their 3 best if they don't stay. Chelsea, recruitment, question mark. Newcastle, recruitment, question mark. I put Villa in that category as well. And then I put Arsenal in that category as well, because I feel like if Arsenal were to get Berta and go boom, 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 and then fans like yourself and Liverpool fans and City are like, oh man, I don't want to admit this, but that's a bloody good window for Arsenal. We should have a chance as well. So I don't think we're a million miles away, but I don't think Chelsea are either if you look at it in the right recruitment thing. But if we get the recruitment wrong, Don, then we're sat here again going, fuck's sake, really? Like, what we're doing? So, and this is where I don't get with Chelsea, right? And this is where you and I do disagree. You spent a lot of money. We all know how much it is, right? I don't need to keep going under the figure. I ask where it's gone, and it's gone on the youth. Now, I think you've done with that now, bro. You need to stop buying these 18-year-olds. Go and get someone that can actually allow your 11 to look strong. You're future-proof now. Do you know what I'm saying? You're future-proof now. You don't need to keep buying more 18, 19-year-olds. So I don't want to hear about Esteval's coming. I don't want to hear about Kendrick Paez is coming. All this stuff here that I know you get excited about, that ain't going to help you next season. That might help you in the future. They ain't going to win you a league next year. So for me, as much as they're exciting, you've got that. You've done that, bro. Yeah, go and get Osimhen or Gyökeres up top. Go and get Mark Guehi in the middle. Go and get a winger that's like a Lookman type. Go and get yourself a proper goalkeeper that everyone will respect and go, okay. Even if it is Matt Sells over at Forest, who's been quality this season. Yeah,
you know, it's so funny, bro. We literally had him at Strasbourg last season.
Yeah, I can't believe you didn't get him, man. I can't believe you didn't have him.
He's fucking quality, bro. I saw that guy in person when we drew against Forest. If you remember that game, him and Sanchez were going bar for bar with the saves.
Yeah,
they were going crazy in goal, right? But honestly, for me, Potts, when it comes to the young players, this is what I always say to people. From day one, Bowley has said from day one, these guys are going to buy the best young talent globally, right? The best ones will make it into the first team, and the ones that aren't that good, obviously, or they can be moved on, they're going to be flipped for profit. And for me, bro, I don't mind that business model as long as it's bringing in money into the club, number one. And number two, right, you're still investing in the first team. The only time I've got a problem with it, bro, is when you're only doing that and you're just neglecting the first team. That's when I've got a problem with it. Because, bro, when you go check how much Chelsea are bringing in revenue-wise, match day and that, we're like 10th. We're so far from the team, like you lot, we're far from even Man City ahead of us, bro, because the bridge is tiny. And right now we've got a problem because we can't really extend the bridge where it is because, bro, we're literally right next to Fulham Broadway. You probably end up cutting into some cables and you'll fuck shit up, right? So realistically, we have to move. But I think there's a problem in finding.
He won't move though, because what's his name's there, buried there, isn't he?
Oswood.
Yeah, Oswood's buried there. So
he's buried there. He's buried there. But listen, bro, you can't be overly sentimental with these things, bro. Like sometimes you've got to move on for the betterment of the club. Mods, please try to sort that out. Yeah, I've just done that. I've just changed the settings here as well because we've got some weirdos that are these bots, man. So annoying.
They're annoying, man. So annoying
as well. But yeah, for me, bro, we need to move from the bridge. But as it is right now, we need to think of other ways that we can bring in more money into the club to go invest back into the first team, right? Because if you're looking at, for example, Andre Santos, bro, we bought this guy for, I think we bought him for like 15 million. Right now, this guy, you're not getting him for any less than probably like 60, 70 million, right? And we're not selling it, right? You've got Esteval right now. We bought this guy for a good price as well, bro. If you try to buy Esteval right now, it's peak for you lot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Angelo Gabriel, I really liked him, but he got flipped for profit to Saudi. You had Omari Hutchinson we brought in for free. We ended up getting straight profit for that guy, right? Obviously, Casadei is the only one really that we haven't really sort of broken even on him, to be fair. But you can see that there's been a few players already that we've managed to flip. And you can see that there's a few quality players already, like Santos, like Esteval, like Paez, that are going to be part of the first team.
Santos,
this can only work.
I like him.
Yeah, he's fucking quality, but this can only work, like I said, Potts, if you're still invested in the first team. Don't bring these kids into an environment where we're depending on them too much, bro, right? They have to learn. They have to learn from others that are showing them the way, and then they come into the team and help out, right? Then they come into the team and play Carabao Cup games, FA Cup games. They play against the dross of the league to get a little bit more experience, yeah? To bulk up, to get used to the league. But when you're asking these guys to come in and all play together and they're all young, bro, you're not going to win stuff consistently, bro. Yeah? JT, Ashley Cole, all of these, man, when they first came in, they were playing around experience. That's how they became experienced winners themselves. You know what I'm saying?
This is why youth project doesn't work, man. This is why you need to add experience now. I said the same. I've seen youth projects at Arsenal, bruv. They don't work. Fabregas and Van Persie left. Yeah, we got Wilshere and Ramsey and Oxlade-Chamberlain and Walcott and Jenkinson and Gibbs all sat there or signing contracts. They all went elsewhere. They didn't win anything other than a handful of FA Cups. This is why this youth project at Arsenal right now, we now need to bring the ready-made players in. Otherwise, they're all going to go. Saliba and Gabriel already rumoured to leave in a couple of years. You've got Saka's contract needs to be signed. This is what was always going to happen, bro. I said this. So that's where I'm at with it, brother. And I think like this window now is the most important in the club's history at Arsenal. Most important. And I think Chelsea, albeit are probably behind in terms of what you need to do because you're a different stage of the project or process, what the hell you want to call it. But I think you need to have a big summer as well, bro. Massive summer.
Bro, listen, we're at crossroads with these guys. We're at fucking crossroads. For me, listen, people think I just back everything that these guys do. I've criticized them many times, right? They've actually tried to buy like top players, bro. Like Olise was in for this guy. We didn't get Champions League football. We didn't want to offer him the same sort of wages as Bayern Munich. He ended up going. The summer before, he actually said yes to Chelsea. And if you remember, Palace snitched on us. These still in denial about that. Palace tried to snitch on us because of how we tapped him up, yeah? So the move fell through. Because Lewis Hall was meant to be going on loan to them first, bro. And then that fell through. We ended up selling Hall to Newcastle, right? You've got Osimhen. We were in for Osimhen, but obviously the whole problem with the wages. So we have tried to get over the line for these big players, but we failed. But then you've got the likes of Caicedo, we got over the line with him. You've got Enzo Fernandez, we got him done in January, bro. That was not hard. That was not easy to do. Man, there was even rumors that were going around that we were getting it was heated in the boardroom, and like our boardroom and Rui Costa, who's like the CEO of Benfica or whatever, they're about to scrap apparently, bro. That's how heated it got. We managed to get that over the line, right? You've got Lavia. We managed to snatch him over the line as well, over Liverpool. You know what I'm saying? So there's examples on both sides. But people that hate Clear Lake aren't going to tell you this. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to tell you this. So the main thing for me in the summer, we need to get over the line with these big targets that we're aiming for. Because we're going to be
if they don't, then would you then turn and go, do you know what? I've tried to defend them, but I can't.
Bro, I can't be seeing this summer, we don't want to pay this much on wages. We don't want to pay that much on wages. Because they've come out already and told us there's exceptions to the rule. For certain players, we'll pay the money. So I better see that in the summer, bro. You know what I mean? I better see that in the summer, bro. You better put your money where your mouth is. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I'm kind of looking at it, bro. This summer, we can't have no misses like that, bro. We can't have no misses. When we sign a player, I'm thinking, yes, that's perfect. Another player, yeah, brilliant, that's perfect. You know what I mean? We're linked to Huijsen. What do you think of Huijsen, man, as a centre-back? We're linked to him as well.
I really like him, bro. Really like him. Yeah, I really like him. I think there's a few in the Premier League that are really good, if I'm honest with you. I'm a big fan. I like Jared Branthwaite. I like Mark Gahey. I like Huijsen. There's another one as well. Oh, the two at Forest, Murillo and Milenkovic.
Yeah.
I'm big fans of these guys. And this is what I mean. I don't think you have to look very far. People are trying to say what Juventus are doing and what AC Milan. Look where we are, man. And people were sort of looking at Bournemouth and Brighton's players. I look at the players like I get for Palace. I would take Eze. I would take Wharton. I would take from Wolves. I would take Cunha. I like Brian Mbeumo, from Brentford. There's these players. West Ham have got Kudus. I like Kudus. I like Bowen, if I'm honest. I think he's a very underrated player. So,
bro, I would love Bowen at Chelsea, bro. Honestly,
I think he's a quality player. Honestly, I think he's so underrated. So there's some players in and around the Premier League that you'd 100% take, bro, 100%. But if you look at Arsenal squad, and you look at Chelsea squad, what's the player difference in terms of quality? Like, how many players have we got? You say you're not far away from Arsenal. How many players are you talking? Like,
yeah, bro, like I don't like doing combined 11s. I think they're quite flawed.
No, I hate them as well.
I hate them, bro. But what I would do in order to improve my team, so you can see how I'm kind of visualizing what we need to do, right? I would obviously bring both your centre backs. That's number one. Gabriel and Saliba. I would bring both of them. Raya, listen, for me, Potts, I've got a preference. I've always known Chelsea to have tall goalkeepers, and I like tall goalkeepers. Yeah, I've got PTSD from Kepa, who's the same height as Raya, right? I don't know if I've told you, bro. I saw Raya in Novikov and JT on the same night. I spoke to both of them, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
JT is taller than Raya, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's taller than him. And he's a centre-back. So
yeah, Raya's about 5'11" or something, man. That's it.
6 foot. He's 6 foot, bro.
Oh, 6 foot, there you go.
Yeah. So for me, Raya's a good keeper. I would bring him over the guys that we've got, right, to start. But ideally, I would want someone like a Martinez that's taller than him. You know what I mean? Someone that's got a little bit more height, right? So if you're talking about players, Gabriel Saliba, Saka for sure to start, and then also Raya, yeah. And straight away, our team has improved massively, bro. Then we can go fill in the gaps because I'm not bringing Havertz over Jackson. It's the same problem. They're both shit at finishing. Yeah. I'm not bringing Trossard, Martinelli, and all of these guys when you're having problems with them. I wouldn't want them at my club. That's not upgrading anything, bro. Yeah.
Well, you take two youngsters. You take Ethan and Miles.
I don't need them. Bro. Yeah. Because Ethan's not starting ahead of Palmer. Miles ain't starting ahead of Cucurella. You know what I'm saying?
No, sorry, I meant for the squad. Sorry, you're talking about the 11. Sorry,
I'm talking about the 11. I'm talking about straight in the 11. Who I would take from Arsenal to come into the 11 straight away, right? I think we had those 4 players, and then we go and plug the holes. That's a team that can go and win the league straight away, bro. Saliba, Gabriel at the back, Saka on the right, Gokeres up top, and then with Palmer, Enzo, Caicedo.
No, I agree. That's why I've never said you're miles away from a title. Me and LB said it on the terrace. Go and buy the 4 positions you need, and you could go for a title push. I don't think you'll win it, but you could go for a title race, definitely, because you ain't too far. And this is the thing: Arsenal are very, very deluded to thinking that we're miles ahead of everybody around us. We're not, man. This is why we need to keep pushing in the summer. Because I think in our squad, I think a lot of people would look at our goalkeeper. I hear it on the height thing. He's not my favourite player, Raya, but he has been brilliant this season, right? A lot of people would look at him. Everybody would take Gabriel and Saliba. They're the 2 best for me, right? Yeah, I think everybody would take Jurriën Timber. He is unbelievable. I like Ben White, but for me, Timber's better than him, right? I think when you look in our midfield, I know you're not a fan, but a lot of teams would take Declan Rice. A lot of teams on his day when he is fit would take Thomas Partey. Erdegaard is
Well,
a little bit more
forget
Marmite.
about Partey, Potts, man. He's on the other way
Yeah,
out now.
he's gone as well, to be fair to him. And then obviously everyone would be taking Saka. So we've got 7 or 8 players that everybody would be looking at. There's 4 or 5 positions that are clearly quite obvious we need an upgrade. And I don't think Chelsea are far off from that either. I think you've got 5 or 6 positions that you'd look at and go, yeah, go get upgrades on them. So I don't think we're far away, man. I don't think we're far away. And I don't think, in fact, we're far away from any. It's not like at the moment we're trying to catch up to be the best. So Liverpool and City, I think, are very catchable. It's not like, rather much, you know, like when Pep and Klopp were doing their thing. Like everyone was like, oh, how are we going to catch up with them? I don't think so. I think those days are gone, brother. I think those days are gone.
That's what I'm saying, Potts. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, we need to honestly buckle down this summer, bro, and make sure. But what have you thought about Maresca so far, man? Because it's been a bit of a mixed season for him. Obviously, we spoke on Sunday, and you kind of said you don't think he's as good as what I kind of made him out to be, which is fair enough, you know. But what have you thought about his time so far, man? What do you think he's going to do going forward?
I've been impressed with bits of him. I've got to be real about how I look at managers. Like, if Maresca was somebody who's been managing for 20 years, I think he'd be a bit useless. But this guy's a young manager, a young coach. He's done well at Leicester. He had a style of play which everyone liked. But Leicester said they've run out of gas big time. It looks like he's doing the same at Chelsea. So I don't know if that's an intensity thing and you get exhausted and can't crack out a season. I don't know what that is. I don't quite understand some of his team selections or some of his lack of use of subs. Don't really get that bit. I think there's the times he could have done a lot better.
Touch up on the team selection. What is it that you haven't really liked?
I don't quite understand with the. I think he's got players on the bench sometimes that he could use, and I don't think he wants to do that. I don't know why that is. And I might be wrong here because I don't watch Chelsea like you.
You're right. You're right, bro. Yeah. You're right.
So I look at some of the. And I don't particularly rate these players, but let's just say Madueke. I know you quite like Madueke. I don't hate on Madueke like some. Right?
As a squad player.
Yeah. So I'm going to agree with you. I think he would be quite a good person to bring on to cause a little bit of havoc because he can run at players, he can take players on, and he can cause a little bit of havoc. And for me, that's the perfect substitution for around about 65 minutes onwards, right?
He'll be perfect. If you lot had him to replace Saka like off the bench, that's brilliant. That's
what I'm saying. So as a squad player, you're bringing him on for 25 minutes. That's going to cause your left back all sorts of issues for me, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he's got the balance right in midfield at all times, if I'm honest with you. I still think there's been a problem there, but that's maybe a squad thing because with the injuries to Lavia, I still think there's not really a Palmer replacement unless you're playing. Is it Nkunku you play there? I don't really know who plays in that attacking role without Palmer. Who plays there? I don't really know.
Well, the other day against you lot, we played Enzo. Usually Palmer's available, but we played Enzo in the 10, and he's not a 10, bro.
Yeah. I don't really understand his use when I said team selection on Pedro Neto. I like him on the right, cutting inside. I think he's a baller. But he's been playing him on the left. He's been playing him in the kind of attacking role. He's playing him in the false nine. Big up to Jimmy, man, every time. So they're the few things that I've noticed. But, Don, it's hard for me, bro, because I see match of the day and the highlights. That's all I see from Chelsea, unless we play them. Do you know what I'm saying? So I see them twice a year properly, and then I obviously look at you as best I can there. So they're the little things I've seen from the outset in terms of a couple of players. I'm thinking, oh, right, why is he playing over there? And Nkunku, I'm not sure what he's done with. I've seen him playing on the left a few times. Don't get that one. So that's the thing. And then with the unused substitutes, I'm thinking it would be like quite hard to be bringing on right now. One would be seeing Madueke coming on against a Luis Skelly or particularly a Calafiori or someone like that. So I feel like that's where I've been with Maresca. I don't think he's shit. I think that's harsh. I actually thought he did really well to start with. I thought Chelsea looked like they were clicking. And I'd like to see what he's going to stay, I think. I don't think he's going to get sacked unless you completely drop off. He comes 7th or something. I can't see him getting sacked. So I think you're going to keep him. And in a way, as much as I'm kind of, he needs and deserves to be sacked, I don't really rate some of the squad players. So I'm thinking, what is the best he could have done with that team, really? Yeah. So maybe it's not the best news to keep sacking these managers.
Bro, it's a mix of everything, man. It's a mix of everything. Like, people thinking that if we get rid of Maresca, all our problems are going to be solved. That's not the case.
Depends who you get, though, Don, man. If you do, you're going to get. Who are you going to get? Like, are you going to go down the route of a Xabi Alonso, or are you going to go De Zerbi, or are you going to go get like a?
Yeah, but Alonso will still need a striker. Alonso will still need a striker. Alonso will
that's
still.
What I mean, they'll still need to go and have a good summer. Whoever you get,
yeah.
You know what I mean, yeah.
He'll still need a striker. Alonso will still need his key players to stay fit. Right. These are things that Maresca struggled with. And for me, start of the season, when we had a fully fit team, this guy was cooking pots. He was making subs quickly, right? He would take someone off straight away after halftime. It's not working. Boom, you're coming off. I remember second half of games, bro, Chelsea was serious. Because last season, second half, it's like these guys were smoking at halftime. You know what I mean? This time around, start of the season, second half, as soon as we come out, we score quickly. You know what I mean? It was very good. And then I started to see a change. When I started to see a few people dropping off, the likes of Fofana, you know what I mean? Lavia injured again. And now he's struggling to really utilize the squad and trust in the bench, like what you're saying. That is when we really struggled, bro. Because during that Christmas period, I always reference that Christmas period because we could have been top of the league at Christmas. Yeah? We could have been top of the league at Christmas.
Fulham, Everton, Ipswich. I'm like, how are they not beating these teams, man?
Bro, over that period, right, we had Jackson being a criminal, just missing bare chances. Because we weren't playing badly during that time, bro. We were actually playing quite well, right? But Maresca was not using his bench. I'm seeing Nkuku coming on for like 5 minutes. You know what I mean? I'm seeing João Felix getting basically no game time. Vega not coming on at all. You know, I already said to you, our defense ain't that great. Certain games, bro, why not bring Vega on? So you've got Vega, Tosin, and Cole on the pitch. So you've got 3 players, 3 centre-backs. You can solidify that win, yeah? You tell Enzo, come back instead of pressing from the front. You now see out that win. He failed to do these things, bro, consistently. I'm seeing it game after game. I'm like, yo, why don't you want to use your bench? You might not fuck with Felix. You might not fuck with Vega, but they're here right now, bro. Don't weaken the squad. And the fact that he didn't want to use them, that's why they decided to leave, bro. Because they weren't happy. You know what I mean? So he started to do some fuckery, bro, over that Christmas period. And it's kind of gone over into the new year. This year, I can only think of really West Ham. You know, he made some good changes off the bench. He brought on Mark Gill. He brought on Neto. That changed the game for us, which is very good, you know. But I'm really struggling this season to think of many games where tactically I've been like, yo, that was quite good. Maybe against Villa, he played Neto up top. We created more chances. But against Brighton, we played Brighton twice in a week, Potts. Man did the same thing against them, bro. You know what I mean? The second game was a little bit different. He started Neto. He started Madueke on the wing. When Madueke got injured, it was peak when Sancho came on. It was fucked for us. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, bro, yeah, for me, I've seen some good things from Maresca. And I've seen some bad things from him. But people that are just now drawing conclusions saying, yo, he's not going to improve and that. Let's see what happens. Yeah, because I don't want to keep chopping and changing managers. I understand a lot of the things that have happened this season, right? Like TTM has said, to be honest, Lavia has been their biggest appointment. Players like Lavia are so key to how all these young managers want to play out from the back. And he's spot on, bro, right? Lavia helps us in so many things that we want to do. He helps us in our build-up. You know how press-resistant he is, bro, right? It helps us in terms of sweeping up. If you've got Enzo and Caicedo playing as a box-to-box, you want someone like a Lavia to help sweep up when we lose the ball up there, bro. Because on the transition, you don't want to have a big hole. Caicedo can't do it all by himself. You know what I mean? That's why I'm happy that Chelsea have brought in Asugo. That's why I'm happy that Santos should be staying next season as well. So we've got a little bit more physicality in midfield, right? You've got Fofana. When he's available, we can play a high line. Defensively, you know how good he is one-on-one, bro. He's actually one of our defenders that knows how to defend, bro. Yeah? Cole isn't that great at defending. You've got Tosin. I mean, he's not the worst, but he's not better than Fofana. And he can't play a high line with that guy. He's not that quick. You know what I'm saying? So we lose certain things that Maresca wants to do because he likes to counter press from the front. And when these guys aren't there, it's problems, bro. You know what I mean? You're now looking to drop down a level and you're playing people that can't do it as well as those guys. You know what I'm saying? So there's so many things here in it. But I need Maresca to carry on fixing up. Yeah? We've got Jackson coming up after the break. We've got Palmer back after the break. Lavia should be more fit after the break. Reece looks like he's been able to maintain fitness for now, right? You should have more players, but Madueke's back as well. So I don't want to hear no excuses about nothing. You should have your players back. So make sure that we start to win. You know what I mean? I think
what's happened to Gusto this season, bro?
Bro, Gusto's not been used correctly, bro. He's been using Gusto as like an 8. He's been using him as like a 10. He hasn't been overlapping him. You know, he don't like overlapping fullbacks. That's another problem I've got with him as well. You know, he needs to overlap his fullbacks more because he has done it in certain games. But he don't do it enough. You know what I'm saying? But Gusto this season, bro, he's not been used in the right role. That's the main thing for me. He's lost confidence and he's not a 10. He's not an 8. Stop playing him there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I looked at him last season and I thought, wow, this is a guy who I really like. I really like him. And I haven't seen much of him this season. And I know positionally he's been a bit all over the place. But like people have asked me before, right? When do Arsenal win the league? I keep saying, we have to this year. We have to this year. And I'm going to say it again. I think like Arsenal have to win the league this coming year, right? Next season. What about you with Chelsea? When do you think Chelsea should be ready to go win the league? Like what are you predicting? 2028, 2027, 2029?
Oh, ideally, I wanted this season to be the season where we compete and then next year we win the league, right? But bro, I'm telling you, bro, next season we need to compete as a bare minimum. And as the season goes on, depending on where we are at Christmas, depending on how the team's getting on, depending on how Maresca is getting on if he's still here, I'll be saying go win the league, bro. Because my expectations can change during the season. If I'm looking around me and I'm seeing Arsenal having the same problems, I'm seeing Pep still fucking about, I'm seeing Slot, he's struggling in his second year, and Chelsea are still up there, I'm not going to run away now and say, oh, no, we're not ready. I'm not Maresca. You know what I'm saying? I've got fucking standards.
Do you think Chelsea can win the league 26-27, or you think you can win the league 25-26 next year?
I think 26-27 is more realistic.
Yeah, I would agree.
But next year, I want us to bridge that gap. And again, depending on how everyone else is around us and how we're doing, my expectations could change. I could change that quickly, bro. You know what I mean? I didn't like this thing, Potts, that Maresca kept talking about, you know, we're not ready. You know, these guys are not ready. I watch them every day. They're not ready. You just put a man down.
Yeah, that is a bad thing to say, man.
It's a mad thing to say, bro. I hated it at the time. People kept running away, like Matisse and that, yeah. Oh, yeah, he's right, though, he's right. And I'm like, bro, this is not a good mentality to have, yeah? Regardless of whether you think we can win it or not, do what Arteta did. Because when you lot first competed that year, I remember, he kept it coy. He just kept quiet. Yeah. Yo, we'll go game by game, we'll see where we end up. That's literally what you've got to say. Don't come out putting your team down, bro. Talking about, oh, we're not ready every single week. And then when
the other things that were
because what it does before you come in, bro, because what it does, when he fucked up tactically, it allowed him to go back to that excuse. You know what I mean? Oh, I told you we're not ready. No. Why the fuck are you starting Disasi right back against Ipswich? Yeah?
Man.
Why are you using your bench? Yeah? Don't tell us we're not ready when we're seeing you fucking about tactically as well. You know what I'm saying? But go on, bro. Go on. Come
no, that was the other thing, actually, when you asked me earlier about him. Disasi. Oh, dear me. Wow. How playing him at right back was a madness. Look, I also think when you look at the couple of things you've said there about Maresca, if Julian Timber went up to Mourinho and did that ain't happening. He ain't shaking his hand and he's going to square up to him. Yeah. Same with the other managers. Tuchel, we've seen what he did with Conte that time. Do you know what I mean? So for me, when Maresca's laughing at him, shaking his hand, that just shows weakness. That just shows that, like, are you actually have you got it up here to go and get your team across the line? And when you're coming out with stuff like that, and I actually messed up the other day on the terrace and said that he said this team will be ready in 5-10 years. What he actually meant was that the team needs to dominate for the next 5-10 years. So I actually got that wrong. But when I heard that, even that, I was thinking, wow, like, don't say stuff like that. Just get on with it. Be coy about it. You've got the excuse at the moment because you've just walked into what was a little bit of a mess. Yeah. So I do feel like there's that kind of question mark over Maresca. But look, I don't know what to think of Chelsea's long term, because Chelsea don't really do long term. They never have in my lifetime. They do. You get 2 years, you go. Ancelotti goes. Avram Grant was a penalty kick away from winning the Champions League. You go. Di Matteo wins the Champions League. You go. You know what I'm saying? We've already seen Potter, Lampard, and Pochettino all gone within a number of seasons. So I don't think Chelsea ever do long term. They want to do win now. I've always respected that, and I've always been jealous of that. But now it looks like you're going more long term process, young players, and all this kind of stuff. So we have to see how it works, bro. But you know,
100%. And big ups Adele for this. It says, let's be realistic. We sell a lot of players every summer. When will there be stability? How are we winning a league when we constantly bring in new players? And you make a good point, bro. What do you think about that question?
And this is where I'm at, really. I think Chelsea now need a little bit of stability. I think you need to go and get a Victor Gyökeres or Osimhen up top for the next few years. I think you need to go and get somebody in like a Lookman who's going to come and be there for the next few years that's ready now. Those two players are ready now. Mark Guehi, ready now. And they're young. They're good ages. It's not like you're buying someone like a Zlatan or, to come in for a couple of years to steady the ship. You want to buy players of a good age that are ready now, that experience that can get you across the line. No more of these guys that like, wow, have you seen this 16-year-old who looks like he's going to be the next best thing? You've done enough of that. You've got enough youngsters. You've steadied the ship. You're future-proof. Go and get the guys that can get you across the line. And I'm with you. I think Arsenal in that position as well. I don't want to go and get Naipan. I don't want to go and get, I love the fact that Max Dowman's coming through. I love the fact we've got Ethan and
He's a baller, by the way.
Yeah, he is a baller, bro. He is a baller. So we've
got these three coming through. Another week, because you lot played
Man United.
Under 18 Chelsea versus
right. Okay, that one, yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you,
Best player on the pitch.
When I was watching them pots, no one stood out, even from Arsenal. Only him, right? like it's such a drop off from what I was watching when I was growing up, like Musonda, Solanke, Charlie Colkett, Ola Aina, you know what I'm saying, Loftus Cheek, Boga. We had so many ballers. Now I'm looking at these, man. I'm like, yo, like, I'm sorry, most of you guys ain't making it here.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry, most of you guys, maybe that's why we're going to Brazil, because you might not meaty, bro. You know what I'm saying? But go on, carry on, bro. Carry on.
No, look, Chelsea have always had standards for me in terms of we want the best and we want to try and deliver the best. And that's what I'm expecting to see from Chelsea now changing. If these men have made their mistakes, they're going to learn from them. Fair play. If they're going to just keep playing youngsters and spending more and more billions on young teams that, let's be real, probably are neglecting the first 11, some would say, then I don't really think you're going to be going in the right direction, brother, if I'm honest with you. So that's where I'm at. I'm not a massive fan of your ownership. I don't like it. But so far from what I've seen, I can understand and appreciate why people are pissed off that you spent $1 billion and you're nowhere near going for a title. But you got to give them a summer and see what they do this summer. Because if they're learning from their mistakes and they go, right, we've done enough of that. We've got really good youngsters, but now we're bringing in X, Y, Z. And you've got an 11 that I look at and go, oh, that's a decent 11. Let's see what they can do. Cool, we're moving in the right direction.
I mean, we're not too far gone. Like, people need to realize we've actually got a foundation to build from. That's why it's really frustrating for me, because I'm like, if I'm in charge and I had that money, bro, I know exactly who I'm going for. I know exactly who I'm gonna go for, bro. I'm gonna go get Gokares or Isak. I'm gonna go get maybe Semenyo on the left, or I'll try for Rodrigo, right? Hoyson, I'll probably bring him as well. Yeah, maybe even Milinkovic, bro. Have a little bit more still at the back.
Yeah, I'm with you. They're the names that I'm with you. We're on the same levels in terms of who we want to bring in. Exactly the same. Now, let's see. Now, if me and you are saying we want Isak or Gyökeres and I end up with Sesko and you end up with Jonathan David on a free, we're going to be pissed, right? So this is where we're at in the summer. You and I could either both be pissed, one of us be happy and the other one laughing at the other, or we'll both be really happy and we go for it. We're going to be one of those things, man.
I've seen Jack all streaming, or your fingers are getting tired, bro. You keep talking about Enzo, bitching about Enzo, yeah? This logic here really hurts my head, like, honestly, bro.
Is Jack a Chelsea fan?
Bro, he is. I think he's a Chelsea fan. He sounds like a troll to me. He sounds like a troll to me, bro. He says, John, why are you and Enzo Fernandez sexual? And why do you never look at the win? They like that word, by the way. Sexual, you're deluded, or they don't, you know those buzzwords, isn't it? You know what I'm saying?
Sexuals, yeah, we get that.
Sexual, they like that word there. So why do you never look at the win percentage when he isn't playing, we win way more? Bro, like, there's been many games this season where, in fact, not even this season we're being held together by our midfield, right? Enzo has been top 3 performers for Chelsea this season, bro, in my opinion. You've got Enzo, Caicedo, and Cucurella. They've been top 3 performers, right? Enzo's been very good. So when people like this still have an agenda and trying to cook him and that, to me, I'm like, bro, just hold your hands up and say you were wrong about him, bro. Like, last season, he was meaty, but the way Poch was setting him up was crazy. I'm seeing Enzo doing left wing shifts, bro. Yeah, I'm seeing Enzo playing as a 10, right? Consistently last season, yeah? This season, he's been very influential. He's created a lot of chances for us. He's getting more goals as well, right? If we had a striker, we get a lot more points with this guy. But because we've been dropping points. You can even see when we played Villa. This guy was in tears, Potts. He's in tears. Because he was one of the players that played well that game. But you still got people like Jack that think it's Enzo from last season. Bro, firm it. Yeah? Firm it, Jack. Hold your hands up, Jack, and just say, I was wrong. Yeah? This hate right now, bro, you're going to get grey hairs at a young age. You know what I mean? How old are you, Jack? Tell me how old you are, bro. It's not good. You know what I mean?
Jack don't like what you're saying, man. Jack ain't a fan of what you're saying.
It wasn't even 150 million. It was 105 million, bro. 105. Yeah? But your heart is palpitating too much because you're trying to do too much, bro. Enzo Fernandez has not been the problem this season. He's been fantastic. If anything, he should still be in a title race. Yeah? He should still be in a title race. When we took him out at the 11 and we were starting Lavia and Caicedo and Palmer, our chance creation went down massively, bro. Massively. Are you forgetting? We played Man United. We barely created anything that game. Yeah? We played Arsenal. Enzo had to come off the bench and get an assist for Neto, bro. Yeah? Who else did we play during that period, bro? I can't remember now. But, bro, Enzo's been good this season, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's been very good this season. So I don't know why Jack and that are still saying these things. To me, you're a bot. You're clearly just trolling. Clearly, bro. Clearly. You know what I mean? But Potts, listen. Good chat, man. That's flown by. Still got 126 people in the house. We'll definitely do more of these one-to-ones. Because a lot of the time I do a lot of panel shows. I had Goonie on yesterday as well. He's another one that fucking hates Enzo Fernandez, talking about send him to Real Madrid and bring me Camavinga and Tchouameni. And I'm like, these are different type of players, bro. I love Goonie. I love Goonie. Bro, Goonie will never change. You know what I mean? He'll never change, bro.
He sees things similarly to me though. Like in terms of how I see Arsenal, we're very similar. Like he holds his club to top standard, man. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's why we get on. But yeah, he was like, "Oh, blow this team up, get rid of this ownership. I'm coming out with pitchforks if I'll be there." He's sick of it, man. He's sick of it. But yeah, different.
Yeah.
Everyone's different, man. Everyone's different.
Nah, everyone's different for real, man. But listen, people, still got 116 people here. Make sure that you're smashing up the likes. Make sure that you're following Potts on Twitter as well. And you're subscribing to the channel. You reached, is it 35k now, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm on the road to 40, man. So 36, nearly at 37 now. So come on, people, get us to 40.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
We're gonna get there soon, people. This is London. We're not on tomorrow. Potts needs a bit of a break. You know what I mean? We need to catch up with family and friends and whatnot, people. But next week Sunday we're back. And that intro, bro. By the way, Sam, yo, brilliant. That intro has been
sick, man. He's done well, bro. He's done well. And your boy on the beats as well, man.
Yeah, Degsy, bro. Big up Degsy, man. But in a bit, people. Bless, love.